Review copy provided by Clara Sia. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Good morning! There's no shortage of kart racers on the Switch. They all got their own legacy characters, great tracks, great games all around. Sonic Team Racing, Mario Kart 8. There's a lot of fun stuff to find on the Switch. And then one game reared its ugly head. We don't allow sin in this house! Get out of here! I don't much care for it. Oh, I broke it for real. That wasn't the plan. The tiny crack. I should have worn shoes. All patched up. Now, it's no surprise that I think this game belongs in the trash. Yes. It had very little going on for it. It had a very limited cast. It had some legacy characters, but like 12 from 4 different shows. It had uninteresting tracks. This game did very little to change any formula in the kart racing genre. It's very average, so much so that I compared it to a PS1 game that came out 18 years ago. And if you haven't watched that episode, I like that episode a lot. Feel free to watch it before you watch this one. But that's not what we're talking about today. This is Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2, also on the Switch. Very good. When the reveal trailer came out for this, I had some high expectations. It looked really good. However, I tried to keep it in check. After all, I was still excited for the first game as well. But like the second game, double the racers. More racers, boom, double them. Got Invader Zim, Cat Dog. I love Cat Dog. Rocco's Modern Life, my boy Rocco, he's inside it. It had JoJo too, as JoJo right there. 3 for 4. That ain't bad. The game's out now. I think it's about time that we take a look at the sequel. This is Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 Grand Prix. The first thing that this kart racer will thrust you into is a tutorial for a kart racer. Typically, kart racers will just kind of toss you into the game, or they'll give you like an image like that. Yeah, like that. It's just go, stop, be, brake, drift. It's pretty self-explanatory. But you know, just thrusting you in, no CPUs, no need to hurry, really just lets you soak in the ambience of the game. And can I just say, the tracks look 10 times more enjoyable to look at. They're varied and oh, look at that! Ramps! Things to jump off of! Not just a flat plane, we're no longer in the SNES, baby, we're in the next generation hardware! And it feels like it. I mean, all except for the characters, they look like they were baked in a PS2. Oof. It's just about done. Sure, they're not extremely attractive, but I get it. They were from many different shows and different art styles. They had to all share one art style to feel congruent. It's fine. And while we're on characters, the character roster. When I was scrolling through comments on my live reaction video, all I saw were people talking about the characters they wanted in. This is a more varied cast, picking up the show's old and new legacy characters from the Ren and Stimpy show, Cat Dog, Rocco's Modern Life, Invader Zim. We have 13 different franchises to represent here for different generations to enjoy. That was the biggest problem with the original game, the lack of characters. Here they added more to the existing franchises and made half the cast available from the start. I love unlocking characters. It always makes me feel like I'm working towards something, and you'll have plenty to unlock here. Tires, engines, tailgates, and depending on which one you have of the tailgate, it gives you a different exhaust. From the back, beautiful touch. Paint options for your carts, much of which you need to buy from the garage with these little coins you get from winning races. Again, makes me feel like I'm working towards something. You can unlock long, bold, and brash. It's the year of bold and brash. I painted this mug this year with a little bold and brash and Squidward all over it. I love it to death. I love him. I think he's great. This year, my friend got me a bold and brash painting with like gloves so you don't like smudge any of your filthy, oily hands all over it. And with it being inside this game and being inside SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated in the museum hanging on the wall, I think it is fair to say that this is the year of long, bold, and brash. Thank you, America. You've achieved greatness. Customization for the player is
is so open. Not only from the Kart department, but also these guys, the crewmates, weren't happy that your character didn't make cut. Chances are they're probably represented maybe by the crewmates. They have almost 300 in the game, and the function's very similar to Jesus. They function very similar to spirits in Smash Bros. They give your character a slight advantage, and I say slight, but really, I mean a really cool and huge advantage. Stuff like get good attack items when going through an item box, get a boost, get bonus items, get shields. This stuff is broken, and it makes the game the most chaotic kart racer I've ever played.
What would normally be a very generic kart racer, crewmates make it stand out, where it is completely different from any other kart racer I've ever played. This really innovates, adds a really cool and awesome layer of strategy to the game. It really makes this kart racer stand out. Ain't that crazy?
Your main team leader here is maybe the most useful. They're the only one that you have direct interaction with. In the old game, if you collect enough slime, you could perform a boost, but here, if you collect enough slime, you can activate a crew member leader. Shields, boosts, traps, all here. You're just able to activate them when you do it, when you feel like it. My favorite customization when it comes to the crew members is adding the ones with speed boosts all together, along with getting good at drifts, which give you a speed boost, performing tricks off of jumps, which gives you a speed boost, and going over speed boost pads, which, funnily enough, will also give you a speed boost. You can link and combo all these boosts. I swear there were only seconds in races where I wasn't boosting at a given time. That is until you factor in items in the games. I mentioned this, a very chaotic kart racer, and yes, it is. You know, with the crewmates that even CPUs can get, item boxes scattered everywhere and endless barrages of items, you'll see is more than any I've ever seen in any kart racer ever. Bold claim, I know, but hey, I love the level of chaos in this game. I feel kart racers need it, but it's the most unsatisfying thing to get hit by. I'm always getting hit. Can I also mention on occasion they'll be in a barrage mode where you and everyone else gets an unlimited mode of items to fire? I don't know what triggers it. As far as I can tell, it's random, but it's absolutely insane. The character roster is the staple of any kart racer. Items are great too, but the true heart is the tracks. And you're not gonna get any repeating tracks here, bub. I mean, for the most part, but these tracks are full of legacy areas in Nicktoons history. Some really cool areas like Double Dare. They brought back Double Dare for this game. Are you kidding me? Goo Lagoon, Cat Dog's House, which is my personal favorite. There's also really obscure tracks like the food place in that one episode of Invader Zim, Atlantis from the old episode of SpongeBob. I don't know how many people who had fond memories of this episode. I know it's supposed to be a big one, but like, why? It is a good track, so I'll give them that. Even the battle mode has the Kids' Choice Awards in it.
My only problem that I had with the battle mode was collecting the spatulas, the golden spatulas. I went above a cliff and then the golden spatula just kind of hanged out up there where I couldn't get it. So yeah, a pretty significant bug if you ask me, but it was still really fun.
Okay, to be thorough, let's look at the multiplayer, which is good. If I have one major complaint, and this isn't really the game's fault per se, to go is the R button, which is way up there, and I now realize why A is the go button on Mario Kart, because this is the most uncomfortable way to play this game, even with the bumpers. If you're playing with a friend, I suggest a 2-controller setup or play on the PS4, which I also got the game on. Very attractive on the PS4, all things considering. I don't have much input on that version, I just got it on that platform and I thought I'd say something about it.
Wait a minute, what if I'm a lonely man who has no one to play with?
That I'll reply, then you'll probably still be a lonely man because no one is playing online. I should mention the original game had no online mode, so I'm very happy they added it in the sequel, but no one's on. It took me forever to find a match, but when I did, there were only 2 people. 2! Then I decided to try again, and there were still the same 2 people. It's fair to mention that I only tried this the first few days the game came out, so there'll probably be more people joining in the future, but I mostly just sticked with the single player of this game, and thankfully, there's a lot of fun to be had with the single player, like challenges. This is where you'll do the majority of your unlocking. All good stuff here. They'll give you a special item and just ask you to win with it. Standard stuff, defeat all characters. Usually there's a theme. Love it all. The only other thing they had in the single player department is time trials. In kart racers, I've always avoided the time trials, and I would like to point out the only reason why doing these time trials is to unlock more stuff, but really the lack of items attacking you in this mode know, can lead you to some satisfying speed. Half of these ghosts are impossible though. This is a kid's game. Am I just bad? What's going on? Every time in the last second, you pull through. What the hell? At the moment, I'm still trying to go full completion in this game. There's plenty to unlock, which will keep anyone busy for a while. Even after making this video, I still think I'm gonna play this thing because it's a really solid game with legacy casts for old and new fans to enjoy, plenty of unlockables, and fun, engaging tracks. This is a solid game.
How interesting is this? Game Mill that created Big Rig Racing, which is widely considered one of the worst video games in the world, created a pretty decent game, all things considering. Good on you, Game Mill. Consider me impressed. Compared to the last game, this one is so much better. Now, with the last game, they promised DLC, and that never happened. Now, my theory was that they did want DLC for this game, and they did want all these other legacy characters, but they figured that this game wasn't salvageable. They couldn't save it. So, I think what they ended up doing was creating a new game from the ground up. The new game was reworked in so many different... There's a fly in the room. You are ruining my shot. Get out of here. The new game shares almost nothing with its last counterpart. It's almost as if they reworked the game from the ground up. Gone all of my complaints about the original game, like flying. There's none of that here. Gliding segments. Zero. Water. None of that. None of that. Even the items are almost completely different in this game. Calling me impressed? Good job, Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2. Now, considering I think this is a good game, and I hope that people buy it, they'll probably even do DLC for this game too. It's no Mario Kart 8. I mean, that is a high budget game, but this is half the price, and it's still a good time. I can suggest this to any Nickelodeon fan. Now, the next question is, which one's better? Nickelodeon Kart Racers 2 or Nicktoons Racing? That's a question for another time. Thank you to Clara Sia for supporting this channel. I really appreciate it. If you want to show her support to her, who showed support to me, she's got a Twitch, she's got a YouTube. I'll leave some links in the description. I just want to show my support in any way I know how. Anyways, thank you guys for watching this episode. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. I would never force you to like anything if you didn't like it. But yeah, if you enjoyed it, helps me out a ton if you want to support this channel at all. I also have other episodes on the YouTube channel. I played Nicktoons Racing and also Nickelodeon Kart Racers, the first one. I kind of did like a comparison between the two. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, watch that one. It's a lot better than this episode. I played Minecraft Dungeons. I like that episode a lot. I played SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I also did a video on SpongeBob SquarePants The Golden Spatula. There'll be a playlist if you guys want to watch all those. I really support the help. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. I really love you guys. Thanks for watching. You're really cool. Have a good one. And speaking of the last episode, like, there was one scene that I compared apples and oranges to like each other because they were similar, but that doesn't make any sense because whenever you talk about apples and oranges, it's about how different they are. No one called me out on that. Thank you, internet, I guess, for not calling me out on that. I know why I said that. I'm calling myself out now. I know why I said that. I'm calling it out now. Thank you. Have a good one. Goodbye.